If you're always looking for a way to improve the organization in Premiere Pro, then this video is for you. Today, we are talking about how you can now color code your sequence labels and reveal them on the top of your toolbar. You can use this feature to color code different types of sequences so that at a glance, you can see exactly what's going on your timeline so that it doesn't look like complete and utter chaos. I love organization. This is a great organizational tip. Let's jump on into Premiere. I'll show you exactly what's going on. Internet, welcome back. It's Teegarden talking today about color coding your sequences with labels inside of Premiere Pro, brand new for the 25.3 update in June of 25. If you're new here, welcome. I post content on a weekly basis on filmmaking tips and the business of being a creative. Doing a lot of Premiere Pro tutorials lately, but we're starting a new sequence. Stay tuned for a Build It in Public on how I'm starting to market and promote my video production business. We're gonna start with a whole bunch of different tips on how you find your niche, where you can go to market, the types of things that we're going through email campaigns, paid ad campaigns. We're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff, but now back to this video right here. Let's go into Premiere. So as you can see at the top of my toolbar up here, I have a ton of different sequences that are live for this podcast edit. If you're doing any sort of podcast editing, what you know is that you have your main edit, the different sequences that you're using to set that edit up. If you're using Autopod, you're also figuring out a way of kind of reconfiguring your sequences and nesting a whole bunch of clips. Then you have the social promo pieces, maybe you have cut downs. There's a ton of different stuff that you're doing from a sequence perspective from an hour plus podcast episode. And this one is no exception. If you see in my custom workspaces, which I did another video about, if you want to go check it out, you can look up here somewhere or in the description below. Should we be saying below anymore? Don't we all know where the description is? Like, do I always have to say like in the description below? No, I'm just gonna say linked in the description. You guys already know the cadence of YouTube. But if you look here, this is my custom workspace where I have my project bins over here. And these are all of the sequence files or folders, excuse me, bins that I have, right? I'm working with an editor on this one, Liz Sorkin. She's awesome. What's up, Liz, if you're watching? And these are Liz's folders. We're gonna go through those in just a second because they have a ton of social clips in them. I have all my nested things here. I have anything I need from a setup perspective here. And you can see they're just like smattered all on top of the top of my project timeline. It's gross. It's never really that organized. I can grab stuff and move it around if I want to, but like even then, that's kind of cumbersome and irritating. I can use this double arrow over here and see, look, how many things I have open at one particular time. It's crazy. So any sort of help I can get with this is going to be huge. So this is how we have to start. If you guys remember my timeline display settings, did another video about exactly what's going on in there. Really helpful for you to be able to kind of speed through certain edits because it offers a ton of flexibility. But we're gonna start here. In the new 25.3 update, you can see show sequence label color, okay? Now, once I do that, if you see over here on the side, we're going to be able to see all of these green little dots here because I haven't color coded anything yet. So I'm gonna go to show sequence label color, boom, and you'll see right here, I've already had kind of at least some sort of coloring that's going on. It gives us that little square, similar to what's going on here. You can see that too. Now, I'm gonna go back up just a second. If you go back up to your settings here and you go to labels, just so you know, you have a ton of options and features in terms of the things that you can add. You can start to literally just put in all of your hex numbers and create different types of labels or modify the labels that you have. They have some presets here. You can go to classic, which is kind of the old school Premiere Pro. You've got your vibrance, you've got your editorial, which I mean, I guess maybe people that edit professionally use these colors. I don't really know. And then label defaults, right? So when you drag a video clip in, what does that look like and what color is it? You can change all of those things. I'm gonna go back to default, but just letting you know that that's what you can have in terms of color code options, which are pretty helpful. Now, I have these things here, really helpful, but let's say I wanna do something where my nested sequence, picture-in-picture sequence is something that's a different color. So I'm gonna go over here. You see this hamburger.
Hamburger.
That's what these like triple lines on top of each other are called, as a hamburger. I'm gonna click on this. I go all the way to the bottom and I can put a label on here. Let's just, for the sakes of shits and giggles, make our nested clips violet. So I make it violet. And now you can see, boom, it changed color right there. Isn't that pretty fancy? I like that a lot, says I. Also, when I now hit that little fast forward button, they're color coded here as well. Isn't that just fantastic? So at a glance, I know violets are nested sequences, even though this one says so right here. So now let's do the same thing for my social cuts. Let's actually kill all of these guys right here. And the unfortunate part is that I don't think if I go here and change this label, let's just change it to lavender. It changes the dots here, but what's unfortunate, Premiere, it didn't do it before, but guess what? It did it this time. It really did it this time, guys. Isn't that neato? So I change it here too. So the first time, that was like right on the spot. I didn't really feel like I could do that. Maybe it's because I just updated this before it wasn't working. So now if I go down here on the hamburger, I can change the label here. But if I right click on the sequence here, oops, right click on it here and go to label, I can change it there too, pretty nifty. I can shift click, select a bunch of them at the same time, and I can do that as well. And now, what's super nifty is that I have all of these social sequences colored as that little magenta. What do we put it as? We put it as lavender, okay? So now I can see all those things at a glance. So happy that we just did that. And now these are my main edits. I'm gonna say this one's my main edit. And so let's just make this one blue for main edit. And we can change this one as like a auto pod setup thing, right? It's just like, we can go willy-nilly. I mean, what do you guys want to put? You want to put teal? Let's put teal. I mean, why not? Put that one as teal. So let's open it up. Now, the cool thing is that once I start to slide this thing down, look, we've got a whole bunch of stuff. Now, some things I haven't changed, obviously, but you can start to get really interesting with this and formulate an entire system for yourself of how you color code those labels. Let's take it a step further. Let's say, kill all these things right here, okay? I'm just gonna start with a fresh timeline, get all the little social cuts out of here. We'll get our main edit and watch what I start to do, folks. Watch what I start to do here. I'm gonna take all my social clips, okay? Let's open them up. Let's open them up, okay? All of them. These are all gonna be socials. Then I'm gonna take the main edit that we have here. I'm gonna put that one up there. Then I'm gonna take the multicam setup and I'm gonna take my picture-in-picture setup. Now, if I really wanted to get slick with it, I'm gonna start to have some breakfast. And what do you mean, Teegarden? What are you gonna have some breakfast for? I'm gonna take this one and move this workspace down to this little purple trapezoid right here. Boom, we got purple. Now I want this one just to be my other setup right here. Boom, I got another timeline like that. I want my picture-in-picture nested sequence to go right here. I've got so many pancakes. It's crazy town over here, buddy. I can reconfigure some of these things, but I can put it like this. And now I can see, I wanna look at just my main edit. Boom, I'm gonna go there. Amazing. I wanna look at all my social cuts. Well, these are all my social cuts that are going on here, okay? I wanna look at just my multicam setup. I got that going on here. I wanna look at my picture-in-a-picture. I got that going on here. If I want to expand this timeline, boop, I hit the tilde or the apostrophe key, boom, it blows up right there. We're going quick keys, folks. Are you paying attention at home? It's time to pay attention here. So we're going back, we're doing quick keys. Now, here's this one. Now, if I wanna cycle through the individual timelines, you see how this blue line around my picture-in-picture is there? If I hit Shift and 3, Shift 3 again, it's going to go through each individual sequence I've got going on the timeline and just cycle through which one I want. So if I don't want to touch a mouse, look it keeps going through. Shift 3, Shift 3, Shift 3. It's gonna get to the end and it's gonna go down. Now I'm in my main edit. Let's say I really like this quadruple pancake stack. What kind of pancakes would you like? Whole wheat, maybe banana, chocolate chip. You know what I prefer sometimes is the whole wheat. They got a cinnamon swirl on the top of the pancakes before they flip that caramelizes on the top. Now, let's say I love this so much that I want to go back and create a particular workspace that looks like this every time so I can utilize this type of thing. Okay, I'm gonna go in here, save as a new workspace. I'm gonna say Quad-Pancake. I'm gonna save that bad boy and boom, there you go. Let's say I go back to my RMT workspace It's still got all this stuff because that's where I built my workspace from. Oops, don't like it, want to go back, reset to saved layout. Ta-da! How you like me now? I want to go back to my quad, go up here to workspace, Quad-Pancake case. That's it. How cool is that? So much flexibility. We've got our ways of doing it here on the side in the project panel. We've got the hamburger that we can do on this thing. We can move labels around. Now, here's what I would love to see. If we could get like version 2.0 of this, that I could automatically color code sequences based off the type of sequence they are. Aspect ratio, multicam sequence, nested sequences. If I had the ability to set and predetermine that my 9x16s are one color, my multicam sequences are another, my nested sequences are the other, and I could organize them in bins as a way of having that automation, that would be like, whew.
Nice.
So I know you guys are taking notes on this channel, you Premiere Pro people, you, with alliteration with P's. So that's for the next version, okay? You're welcome. Also, maybe next week, what we're going to be looking at is the new AI search functions that will search an entire hard drive for specific types of footage, not just frame rates, but also the types of shots, macros, profiles, food, individual interviews, those sorts of things. Pretty unique and interesting stuff. So if you like this video, like the damn video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for posting notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this one. We'll see you next week, guys. Peace.